It's Memorial Day weekend, the official start of the summer schedule, and we are ready to usher it in. 136 teams have converged on LakePoint Sports for the state games of Georgia. After a weather delay that kind of disrupted the entire schedule, we are ready to bring you our game of the day from the 17U division. We've got a matchup of Rangers National South versus VBA American. First pitch on this one is slated for 2:45 p.m. I'll be joined along the way by Avery Hunt and Jack McCartney. Now, we just wrapped up the Academy Baseball Association tournament last week, and this thing was absolutely epic. Georgia Premier walked out of here 4-0. They were champions. These guys put on an absolute show. Arkansas commit C.J. Wall, who had 3 extra base hits in this one, including a 103-mile-an-hour home run, caught up with Jack McCartney for this edition of Dugout Chatter. I'm here with GPA's C.J. Wall, the 7th-ranked player in Georgia and the 6th-ranked catcher in the nation. C.J., man, thank you for the time.
Of course, of course.
You were part of the 2025 Future Games. You played for Florida back then. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what that event was like and what did it mean for you to play in it?
It was just amazing playing with a lot of kids from the state I lived in, playing with a lot of good players, playing against the best players from all around the country, and just getting some good exposure in front of scouts. It was amazing.
After that, you ended up committing to Arkansas. Mm-hmm. What was the reasoning to become a Razorback?
I fell in love with the place. I went there and just fell in love with the baseball, fell in love with the weightlifting, fell in love with just the entire program and the city of Fayetteville.
You're an excellent arm and an excellent catcher, but you're also a great batter. What do you think is the best part of your game, and what part of the game do you feel like you have the most room for improvement?
The best part of my game probably is the bat. I feel like I can go to all fields and still have a lot of pop to, all sides of the field. Most improved, definitely probably the throwing behind the dish. I don't have the greatest arm, but that's just something I need to work on before I get to the next level.
All right, CJ, man, thanks for the time.
Of course.
Great stuff there, and again, an absolute epic showcase there for the Academy Baseball Association tournament. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Windscreen Factory starting lineups as we inch closer to first pitch between Rangers National Scout and VBA American. Rangers Scout team will be led off by right fielder Heath Ward, and then it's left fielder Braylon Bowles. Brandon Holstein, the catcher, Jalen Seabrooks, the DH, Jonah Winton, third baseman, Spencer Norman, the center fielder, Andrew Edwards playing shortstop, Jacob Gonzalez, the extra hitter, Dominic Hopkins, the first baseman, Connor Smith, the right-hander on the mound. We'll have Weston Clemens will be the second baseman with Seabrooks hitting for him. Meanwhile, Viper Baseball Academy led off by Asher Long, the center fielder. Then Avery Jackson, the pitcher, right-hander. Braden Lee, the third baseman. Cash Crow, the first baseman. Wesley Holland, the extra hitter. Mason Gandy, the catcher. Lawson Price, the shortstop. Ledger Martin in left field. Riley Redding, the second baseman. And Hayden Davis in right field. And we're inching closer. First pitch here between Texas Rangers Scout Team and Viper Baseball Academy. Now going to bring in, got Avery Hunt here in studio with me. So we got a treat to start off our broadcast here. Avery going to rock us in on this one. And I think the one thing you always think about during a tournament like this, and you get weather impacting everything, is how chaotic it all sets itself up to be. And there is nobody with more intricate knowledge of that than our version of Jim Cantori. Avery Hunt. Avery, how chaotic? Tell me about last night. So we've got off-site games last night.
Yep.
Weather hits, you have to reset everything for this Saturday morning here at LakePoint. Tell me how crazy of the last probably 12 hours you've had.
Yeah, it started yesterday afternoon about 5:30. We were just talking with some of our high school locations that we use that are, the natural playing surface, and they let us know, like, hey, man, what's coming, what's already, happened here, probably going to have to shake some stuff up. Luckily, we've got this wonderful complex that's got 8 fields at it, so shortened game times a little bit for everybody today, and was able to get all of our games in except for one that we lost this morning at Cass High School, but we've got that one plugged in for tomorrow evening. So we're still on technical schedule as far as game counts for everybody if we can get through tomorrow afternoon. So it's a hectic, but luckily I've been doing this long enough and have been around enough people that have kind of helped guide me through it. As I'm it's kind of second nature at this point. Unfortunately, I wish we could, go 2 months without rain. That would be great.
Well, we had gone 2 months without rain.
Yeah,
And it just so happens once the high school guys start coming back into the fold here for these events, that's when we decide that we need to start having a torrential downpours here across Emerson, Georgia.
Absolutely. My wife texted me last night and goes, "Hey, it looks really bad outside. Is it going to rain at home?" And I was like, yes, to answer her question. She runs all of her weather questions through me as well. So, but yeah, excited to have all the high school guys back here, kind of be in full go here for the next, 64 days after today. We've already started a countdown, but, super, super excited for kind of what this summer brings as we kind of get it rolling here. Day one, sun's finally out. So, that's always a good thing. So hopefully we'll dry up some baseball fields for tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a number of high school players that we won't see until next week because, of course, they're playing state finals across the state over in Rome, Gwinnett. So a lot of the guys that we'll see that will be fixtures for the next 2 months still have yet to suit up for their travel teams, but still getting an opportunity. Some of the guys are starting to filter back in, so that's always an exciting time for us without question. So again, we got Texas Ranger Scout Team, Viper Baseball Academy getting ready to start things off here. I'm going to warn you, both teams are wearing red, so it's going to be a little bit of overload from that end, but we'll have Viper Baseball Academy be out in the field first. They've got Avery Jackson warming up right now. Mason Gandy behind the plate. I'm going to ask you, you were a former catcher, and we've obviously, seen this kind of transition with catchers where the traditional setup's basically gone, and everybody seemingly at this point's got the one leg down approach. Were you ever a one leg down catcher?
The older I got, yes. Went to not necessarily what guys are going now. I went more, it's kind of the setup he's in right there as he receives that pitch. Just kind of takes a load off the legs, obviously. I'm a fan of it with nobody on base. Still that low strike while ABS hadn't infiltrated its way down to college, high school, and here yet. So still trying to steal some strikes at the bottom half. But, it's definitely a new thing. Everybody's doing it with the one knee down. With guys on base, I'm still a fan of a good secondary and traditional catcher stance. Just be a little bit more mobile. Obviously, I had tight hips, so I wasn't very mobile from one knee.
It was funny talking to Gavin Green when we had Blessed Trinity here back in February for Georgia Dugout Club. Apparently, he refuses to do it. And obviously his dad, Todd Green, longtime major league catcher, leads that TGD backs program. But he said, I'm not doing it. It just doesn't work for him. And he's one of the rare guys. It'll be interesting to see when he gets to, say, college, when he gets into the pro ranks, and they're like, yeah, we're really trying to get you in position to steal that low strike. How much that kind of comes into the equation and whether or not he starts to transition towards doing that a little bit. But I just found it interesting, such a high-level catcher. And a guy that, he's catching Joseph Contreras. It's, pitches in World Baseball Classic, throws 100 miles an hour. That one's in play. Heath Ward is going to be out number one as he grounds out the third. But just certainly an interesting conversation is something we see happen so much among young catchers. Heath Ward, again, leading off for Texas Ranger Scout Team, just grounded out. Now Braylon Bowles, the left fielder, stepping in. Brandon Holstein, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. Missed that Ward ground out. Woodstock, 2027.
Oh, a little cross up there to get the day started.
When you do have that split stance, though, the cup, you got to have a lot of faith in your cup.
Got to have good hands. Got to have good hands. Good hands or a good cup, one of the two. Hand up, it might speak on me more as a person, but I don't know. With 100, I have a lot of interest in being down on one knee. Just going to be very transparent there. 100 off the inner thigh is, I'd like to opt out of that if I could. That's why people ask me, "Oh, you don't umpire?" No, I got hit enough in my life. I'm good. I'll opt out of getting hit by baseballs at this point in my life.
This is Braylon Bowles at the plate, 0-2 count. Rabin Gap fouls that one off.
Well, interesting wrinkle here. Our home plate guy learned before he went out. This is his first game working with us here with United. So, first game on the broadcast, got him a GoPro on. He's feeling special back there.
He sure is, man. He's going to tell all of his buddies, you got to get on with them.
You got to come work here, dude.
That's a drop third, runner taken off for first, and it's going to be safe. So, Braylon Bowles reaches on the drop third. It's going to bring up Brandon Holstein now with a runner at first. Holstein Cherokee 2027. He's the 27th ranked catcher in Georgia, 184 overall in the class. 6 foot, 190 pounder. See if he can keep things rolling here for Rangers scout team. Jalen Seabrooks now in the on deck circle. Just saw a little bit of trickle of rain. I thought we were done. Maybe that was just some remnants going on. I think it's a bird.
Don't scare me.
Yeah. Avery Jackson, Franklin County 2028 on the mound. Fastball, we got him around 81. Curveball set 69 to 71. You got to make it over the Champion Center for the Adidas Memorial Day Classic this weekend.
Is that going on this weekend?
That's this weekend.
Yeah, I'd probably swing over there tomorrow. The weather forecast looks a little better, so I should be have a little more free time.
Yeah, you won't be so concerned with your phone and what's going on with the Weather Channel app. 1-1 count here to Holstein. Runner at first and Bowles. This game was supposed to be at 12:40. Then we had looked like it was going to be 2 o'clock, and now closer to 3.
Yeah, I just, a couple rain delays, good for everybody. Luckily, it was a short one. Had a little rain and lightning delay to kind of brighten up everybody's morning.
That one's loose. Runner takes off for second. The throw is not even coming his way, so now Bowles is in scoring position. The 1-1 count here to Holstein. So the real key we found with the umpires, and they got the GoPro on, is they have to realize the entire time they have a GoPro on. Because we had a guy that did this about a month ago, and he was like, no, I got this. And he literally would hold the mask to his side when the play happened. So you could still see everything. It wasn't the reaction of taking off the mask and now you're looking straight at the ground. He had the whole thing locked in. Yeah, he sure did. Like he had it off to the shoulder, and it was fantastic.
Got to get that guy back on there.
Yeah. That's a resume builder right there. 1-2 count to Holstein. One gets away from the catcher. Bowles taking off for third. Ranger scout 90 feet away from that first run. Bowles, man, he's had to work for every bit of this. Reaches off a drop third, steals second, steals third. My man going to be gassed.
Next thing you know, a guy with the mask on, he's going to be like the Savannah Bananas umpires, busting dance moves back there.
That's right.
I'm sure that would get glowing reviews. Depends on the age group for sure.
Sure. Maybe that plays in the fall and the spring, but once we get to the summer,
I don't know that we need
guys
guys busting out dance moves this time of year. So conserve that energy. It's a long year.
It sure is. 2-2 count, and Holstein gets hit, so now runners at the corners as Jackson plunks him. Bring up Jalen Seabrooks. Just had Jalen here as part of that Georgia Premier squad that won ABA. 25th ranked outfielder in Georgia, 110 overall. He's already locked in for top prospect games in June.
Yeah, he's been here quite a bit. Then,
he sure
with
has.
The ABA group, and
hopefully maybe just stayed over at the Element Hotel out there in left field.
Good food options upstairs. Go up there and get you some food.
Jalen exit velos 96 mile an hour, bat speed north of 80. This guy can do some serious damage at 6'1", 202, and he's got him at the corners. Ooh, Seabrooks nearly gets popped.
Just got to get out and finish with that pitch a little bit more. Just kind of just running on him arm side a little bit.
Man, when you've seen the kind of arms though on a game-to-game basis that Seabrooks has seen in that ABA, I don't know that you're just scared at anything you see all summer. I mean, he is ready for bear. You've seen it all. 2023 junior future gamer. It's got a 1-1 count, getting runners at the corners. That one misses low. Bowles taking off for home. Nope, he's going back. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Man, he is mowing him down. That catcher's got some wheels.
Moving.
That catcher's got some serious wheels. Mason Gandy can fly. 6.99 60 time for a catcher. I think we should have had the stopwatch going on that because I think Bowles his eyes probably got it was probably like those emoji eyes when you see the catcher that's trucking like that coming after you.
Yeah, that's moving with the gear on too.
Whew.
Hand up, that was never in my arsenal. We were not chasing anybody down.
I love seeing a catcher that's got like a sub 760.
Yeah.
It's just like, that dude is just dying to show it off. Comes a 2-1 to Seabrooks. He rifles that into left field, and that would have been a run. Instead, they're going to have him at the corners again. So Bulls got a little too excited on that pass ball and got caught in a rundown, but now they'll have him at the corners with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Jonah Winton out of Silverdale Baptist in Tennessee, but he's a Kennesaw State commit, so he'll be playing his college ball awfully close here to LakePoint. 5th-ranked shortstop in Tennessee, 16th overall, was here last summer for the feature games. See if he can put Ranger Scout on the board here. They need something. He pops that up. Everybody's on the run. Gandy's going to camp underneath it. Trailing back. Ooh, he made it. Man, that's the moment right there as a catcher, right? When that starts going back.
Oh, anybody else catch it, please.
Well, Gandy had himself a pretty substantial last couple minutes, so we are through half an inning. We'll be back here watching the state games of Georgia from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to the state games of Georgia. Avery Hunt, Cory McCartney with you. Viper Baseball Academy coming up to play for the first time. We'll see Asher Long, Avery Jackson, and Braden Lee. Connor Smith out of Cherokee High School here, Georgia, on the mound for the Texas Rangers scout team. Smith got a fastball around 81. Actually took that up to 85 on that last pitch. Changeup 75, curveball set 67 to 72, and a slider in the 68 to 71 range. Misses low to long. It's going to make it 2-0. Asher Long's out of Glenwood High School in Alabama. He's the 23rd ranked outfielder in the state, 107 overall. That'll be strike one. Asher among the number of players in this VBA team that'll be at the Yellowhammer State games in June. Oftentimes a pretty big precursor to guys we end up seeing at the feature games. He laces that through. It's going to be in for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Asher Long. Let's put him where they ain't, and he's aboard to start things off for VBA.
It's a good table setter there. Turn 85 around it. We'll round up to 94. Shoot it through the right side there.
When do you, in the EVs, when do you stop? Do you stop rounding when it gets into the hundreds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call it an even 103.5
That's
or
right, yeah.
103.6.
I feel like every decimal matters once you start getting into the triple digits. Jackson, we've already seen him on the mound, again out of Franklin County, Tennessee. Trying to move Long along here. Braden Lee is in the on-deck circle here for VBA. Strong defensive showing for this Viper squad in the top of the first, trying to back it up offensively now. It's another miss. So another count starts out 2-0 here for Smith.
See if we can get one in the zone here to just kind of stabilize everything.
It's in for a strike. You got some wonkiness going on there. Counts now 2-1.
As a starter, the last thing you want to do is start the first guy 2-0, give up a hit, and then the next guy's 2-0. It's like, oh, gosh.
Well, here comes the 2-1 to Jackson. Fouls that off. Count will be even. So we can just, producer Maddie, we can just cut to our main shot here on field 10. We gave Windscreen Factory all kinds of love on that starting lineup, right?
Make sure everybody knows the lineups were good there.
That's right. They sure were. 2-2 count now. Smith delivers. That one is stopped, but the runner does take off. Holding on, everything's a little bit loose, and that ball got wayward on its way and all the way into left field. It's like a pinball machine out there.
Game of Plinko.
That's right.
Got a piece of everybody on that one.
All right, so Long's now in scoring position. It's been a long AB here for Avery Jackson. Count is now full. Of course, with the high school season's ending, a lot of these guys getting together really for the first time. I mean, they've had a couple practices, but obviously the first time a lot of these guys have been in game competition with one another for close to a year. So there's always a few wrinkles to work out, especially in those pitcher-catcher relationships. Swing, miss, and he goes down on strikes. Had to work the hard way to get that one, but Avery Jackson goes down on strikes. Connor Smith's got out number 1. Bring up Braden Lee.
It is shocking how much these jerseys resemble one another.
It sure is, right? Like, we went over, talked to the coaches before the game, and I was like, this is going to be like, my retinas are going to be like completely frazzled by the time this thing's over with. Just nothing but red, trying to differentiate these teams from one another. And they're all wearing white pants.
Yeah, no free ads, but if you play MLB The Show, they just, one's got font 5 numbers, the other's got font 6.
That's right. Braden Lee from Pelham, Alabama's turn. He's the 6th-ranked third baseman in Alabama, 49th overall in the class of 27. One down in the inning, runner at second. Pretty breaking ball there, runs it to 1-1. This, of course, just start of a really big stretch for us. We'll have the Prep Baseball Showdown next week, and then, of course, the National Program Invitational is looming. Smith on the 1-1. Again, he got a runner at second. Misses inside. And that's the thing I love about the schedules, because, like, once you get, so everybody's, like, thinking MPI, right? Like, at that point, like, most of the states are done outside of Iowa, which decides that they're not going to play high school baseball until way late into the summer months. But all these high school seasons are ending. So it's really, as much as this is like the beginning of the summer, and for us here in Georgia, the beginning of the travel season, for a lot of those kids, MPI is like, that's the starter. And then you end it with future games.
Yep.
It's like the perfect bookends to the summer.
Yep, got the national championship squeezed in between those, so.
It's nonstop here.
It is. That is a fact.
Counts even here to Braden Lee. Again, he's got a runner at second in Asher Long. Got that leadoff single. Smith taking his time.
Patient hitter there.
It sure is. And we should have stepped out, you'd think, at that point.
My brain would be in way too many places. If anybody
swinging him through that one, and he's staying alive, though.
Yeah, if you ask our staff, my brain's always in 53 different places at the same time.
As a catcher, when the pitcher's taking so long like that, are you thinking, like, are you stepping off? Is someone stepping? Like, what is happening?
Oh, the worst is I guess now with everybody with the wristbands and the pitch comm, all that stuff. It's a lot easier, but not to be the back in my day guy, but back in my day, there was a guy that I caught for a long time, and he'd shake to like mess with the hitter, and it's just like, dude, just
like Johnny Cueto out
it's
there.
like, oh my gosh, dude, it's like fastball, no, breaking ball, no, change up, no, slider, no, all right, fastball, yes. It's like, dude, we couldn't have done this 45 seconds ago. Like, just throw the ball.
Braden Lee goes down on strikes. Now Cash Crow's turn. That's a serious contender for like high level action star character name, right?
It's a good one.
That sure is. Cash Crow flying into action. He's got a 1-0 count. Watches ball two, and Smith's made a run here of starting everybody out 2-0.
Oh, I got a quick chat here in the first inning.
Yeah, we're going to get a visit here from Felix Luzon. We're a little amped up here to start things off. Cherokee's been done playing for a little while, so Connor hasn't probably seen game action for probably close to 2 weeks now. He's got a 6'5", 235-pound right-hander to deal with here. Runner at second, 2 down. But you got Cash Crow on this team and Mac Crow. That's like, that's a
good brother name.
It sure is, man. That's good stuff. Oh, Smith stops it. Flips it over to first, and Cash Crow grounds out. Runner stranded. We're through 1, and you're watching the state games at Georgia.
What do you get when brilliant minds roll up their sleeves? When all-out effort is in lockstep with a thirst for knowledge? You get an owl with a rich history of making history. We're busy blazing trails. We're more than 50,000 strong. Our moment is here. So let's gather up, dig deep, and rise together as owls.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
We're through 1 in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. The Texas Ranger scout team back at the plate here. Avery Jackson out for another inning for Viper Baseball Academy. And we talked about the same uniforms. Like sometimes it's like, okay, I forget which team just hit, and now we're not going to get to do that. We're going to have to stay locked in. This is going to have to be complete, utter focus on this one. Everybody wearing red jerseys.
Yeah, I almost called Connor Smith Avery Jackson 3 times in the last inning. I was like, God, I don't know. But, Connor Smith showing flashing a little leather there at the end of the first inning. Pitchers are athletes, too.
A little moxie, too, after starting 3 guys out 2-0 in that inning and leaving the opposition with a big 0 on the scoreboard is certainly something he's going to hang his hat on after some early frustrations.
Yeah, both offenses were able to get guys on base, and, both pitchers were able to manage the way out of them a little bit differently, but if could be looking at a 2-1 or 2-0 ball game here in the second, but we're still 0-0.
6, 7, and 8 due up for Texas Ranger scout team. This is Spencer Norman out of Woodward, 24th ranked outfielder in Georgia, 95 in the class. It's a guy who he's kind of just become a fixture over the summers here. He'll be at top prospect games in June, but he was part of the super sophomore games last August, was a 24 junior feature gamer, a 23 junior feature gamer.
He's still to this date in the 13U National Championship when he was that age, hit one of the furthest baseballs I've seen hit here. Obviously the drop 5 helps that a little bit, but ball was hammered.
Norman's got a 1-1 count now, stands 6 foot. Was he 6 foot, 194 pounds back in that day?
I don't know. It's crazy that he's now
this age.
Yeah, 17 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Well, he's a 28, so he's still playing up. So you don't have to feel old quite yet.
It's good. It's good.
He's certainly a guy that could well be at the feature games this summer. Needs to Be followed by Andrew Edwards and Jacob Gonzalez. Got a 2-2 count. Bat waggling. The count's full. And he's going to be aboard via the walk. Scoreboard was just a tad bit late getting operated, but there we go. Runner aboard to start things off here in the second for Texas Ranger scout team. And I'll turn it over to Andrew Edwards. Edwards out of Brooks High School in Alabama, 2027. Loading up well down at the bottom of the box. Norman taking off for second. He'll easily swipe that bag off that pass ball.
So base runner, that's the one you love, right?
Yeah, that's
hey,
right.
We're taking off. Hey, bounce one up there. Let me shift this thing down into second gear and just coast into second base.
Norman runs a 6.71.
That tends to be able to swipe a bag
Yeah.
or two.
Counts 1-1.
So one as a catcher too. It's like guys running, and it's like, oh boy, this one's 58 feet. It's
Yeah.
gotta be perfect. Kinda,
Gandy behind the plate. We've already seen the speed. I want to see the arm. He's got a 80-mile-an-hour catcher velo along with a 1.88 pop time. This guy's tooled up.
I'm see if he can sprint out to second, catch Spencer Norman.
He might. It just turned into a foot race. That one is well on its way into the left field corner.
Oh, I might have lost the GoPro there, coach.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. It came off. Did he put it in his pocket?
Yeah, we just put it in the ball bag there.
Oh, man. That's not good.
Be some good video quality.
Yeah, now we're in a completely different position. Uh-oh. We might have to send part of the production team over there to help out the umpire. 1-2 count. Norman at second. Edwards puts it in play. It's on its way to second. Dribbler, he'll be out. Number one, excuse me, but Norman does advance to third. So once again, they have a runner in scoring position put on third, but couldn't cash in the first, and Rangers changed that here. Jacob Gonzalez's turn.
Good at bat there by Edwards, obviously. You know, you're always trying to get a hit at, when you're at the plate, but guy on second, nobody out. Worst case scenario, you punch one on the right side to get him over to third. So good team at bat there to move Norman over to third base.
Count now 2-0 here to Gonzalez. Norman at third. Avery Jackson's thrown 28 pitches. Counts now 3-0. That's in for a strike. Saw Jacob Gonzalez walking around, and he's already got the mustache going. Looks a little bit like Juan Gonzalez, which makes you wonder. I mean, 2027, you start thinking, Juan Gonzalez is probably old enough. Jacob's now standing at first. Got to get them at the corners. Bring up Dominic Hopkins, last batter in the order for Texas Ranger scout team. Second base throws a second. They did not get him. Comes completely off the bag. 1 run scores. Taken off for third. Now they're going to have it at the corners. Hopkins causing some chaos there, and Ranger scout team's up 1-0. Almost like a check swing that he just put into play. But Hopkins has got himself an RBI, and Rangers scout up 1-0. Hit batter, now have them at every bag, so they'll be juiced as we turn it back over to leadoff hitter Heath Ward. Going out to have a visit here with Jackson. Just 32 pitches in, but things have certainly gone awry here in the second. He's got a wristband they're now going to remove. Maybe that was the problem. Now take it off. Now he's locked in.
Yep, now we're good to go.
Yep. Lose the whoop, and now he's locked in.
I'm not sure I could have pitched with a whoop on the wrist. I think I remember like the Justin Thomas bicep band, maybe throw it on the ankle, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like it would fly off.
Yeah, it would just. So I didn't throw hard enough. It wouldn't have mattered.
Maybe like Brewster Gratterall when he throws in the the necklace explodes. Yeah, it would be like that. It'd be like a commercial for Whoop. Ward going to try to make some noise here. Bases juiced. There is so much red out there right now.
It's like an inter squad.
It sure is. You feel like you could almost confuse everybody. Confuse the batter, and that is laced. 96.7. It's going to be a foul ball. He jumped all over that pitch. Heath Ward's number 2 at his position in the state of Georgia, playing right field. That is headed off by the shortstop. Did they get him at second and doubling up? They did not, so the bases will still be loaded. Nice heads-up base running to get back to second. The bases are still loaded now, though, with 2 outs and a little bit of rain spitting.
That makes total sense. Sun's out. Might as well rain.
That's right.
Just to keep everybody on their toes here.
Can Braylon Bowles build on this Ranger Scout lead? It's got the bases loaded with no outs, with 2 outs, 1-0 count. Ranger Scout has had plenty of traffic on the base pass in each of the first 2 innings. Just 1 run to show for it so far. Can Bowles change that? The Raven Gap outfielder watches that. Counts now 2-1. Bowles gets that to the shortstop. He throws in second, pulls him up. He's going to be safe. Another run scores, makes it 2-0. Throw a little high. Nearly a great defensive effort to bring it into the inning. Lawson Price, though, couldn't convert on the throw to Finley Redding at second. So now 2-0 lead for Ranger Scout.
Really good play there at short, right? Probably, fast
maybe
runner going into second.
Yeah.
Just a little high on the relay there.
Holstein fouls that off. Starting to rain a little bit harder. Jackson pumps that in. Counts now 0-2. Bases remain loaded for Ranger Scout. Rain starting to fall a little bit harder. Holstein pops that down the right side, and that's going to go foul. I got a new studio over there, buddy. Be careful. Don't need that thing getting pelted by baseballs quite yet, and the rain's starting to come down even harder. We always talk about how much insanity happens across this campus on a weekend. You also got Cam Newton's C1N 7v7 going on over at Publix Fields. I'm sure that's not fun in the rain.
Yeah, probably not.
Holstein looking at an 0-2 count, bases loaded, 2 outs.
Hit a couple too many foul balls here. We got to get some new baseballs in play.
I will continue then to beat the drum for my, remember, we're going to take this, we're going to go find so many banks are getting sold and they're getting converted into whatever other nonsense. I think you go in there and you find the whole contraption where they would send the little tube back and forth. And we put that on the scout tower, and that's how we feed baseballs down. And then you just put it down there, it goes right down. Umpire just goes over there and grabs it. There we go, new baseball in hand, 0-2. Swings through that one. That was just the ball that Avery Jackson needed. Bases were left stranded, but Ranger Scouts got a 2-0 lead when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Wesley Holland, Mason Gandy, and Lawson Price are due up for Viper baseball, trying to answer this 2-0 lead taken by Ranger Scout. Connor Smith back on the mound here for Texas Ranger Scout. 19 pitches thus far. Gonzalez exits. Here comes the actual catcher. Braden Holstein was the last batter in that inning for Ranger Scout, so you can excuse his tardiness. Did we get the GoPro set back up? Oh, I think we may or I think we did. I don't know. This is still in his pocket. I hope there's some good optics in there. Maybe we'll see some baseballs. Throw down from Holstein, and we'll get this inning started. Again, Holland, Gandy, and Price, and the rain is starting to come down pretty heavily now.
We're going to leave this open
Okay.
just for my mental
there
sanity.
You go. Just so you can see it?
Yeah.
Just so yep, that sounds like it. Looks like rain.
Yeah. Make sure everybody can stay on the field for this one.
Wesley Holland watches that for strike one. Now in Alabama, you say Arab. Am I correct?
What is
you
it?
say Arab High School. You say it's Arab.
I have no idea.
Arab High School. Kind of a half-hearted swing for strike two. Maybe he wants to go sit down. The rain's coming down. Wesley 6'1", 227. I bet that's somebody's fullback. The Arab Ram.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good nickname.
There you go.
Wesley Holland. 1-2 count. He'll work his way back into this. Again, 2-0 lead for Ranger Scout. VBA trying to answer it. That ball had some kind of like crazy tail on it. From it. It's like we're watching a video game. And it is unfortunately pouring now.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I thought we were done.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad from here. The outfield camera, it's kind of like the lights at the baseball stadium make it look worse.
That's right. Holland goes down on strikes, 85.8 out of the hands of Smith. Now we'll get to see Mason Gandy, another of these VBA players that will be the Yellowhammer State games in June. Got exit velos around 99.4 for this 2027. Smith slipped a little bit. What point do you, not that I'm trying to give away like what it takes for us to bring a stop to play outside of lightning? Is there like something happening in games when you're just like, okay, that's enough?
Yes, but no. If that makes sense. Obviously, if you're playing in hard enough rain where bats are flying down the line, we got balls, almost hitting the guy in the on deck circle. It's like, all right, maybe let's reset this. Obviously, the rest of it's just kind of a feel situation. Obviously, with some light rain we can play. Obviously, it starts pouring like it did this morning. It's like, all righty, let's reset here and give it 10 minutes.
Well, whatever delays that may subsequently come, they can wait until this game's over with.
For sure.
Yeah. 3-1 count here to Gandy. I just saw our photographer, Tatum Beckwith. She's covering up her Nikon equipment, so happy to see that as she's walking through the concourse.
A According to my research, it looks
Uh-oh.
like it's just a small cell of rain.
Okay,
There we
we're
go.
good.
Should
There
be
you
over
go.
in about
Nice.
20 minutes.
No.
Hopefully less than that.
Yes.
Back-to-back strikeouts here for Smith. He started to feel it.
Wow.
Nobody's getting a 2-0 count here in the second.
Just let this guy pitch in the rain.
That's right.
He's locked in out there. Went breaking ball, heater on the first hitter, and finished the second guy off there with a fastball as well. So
Mows down Wesley Holland and Mason Gandy. Now he's got Lawson Price. Stop me if you've heard this before, but Lawson Price is among the VBA players that will be at the Yellowhammer State games. I feel like the whole team just got like a, they just
David
did
and
a,
Austin.
Yeah, they just did a
on the
collective
VBA
invite.
group.
Yeah. I have a feeling there's a number of Excel players that'll probably be there as well. If I had to guess.
Probably. Some Top Gun guys too.
Yeah.
Shout out the Alabama groups, SBG.
Jackson Stevens, former Braves pitcher, heavily involved in that Top Gun program. I remember talking to him about that in the Braves clubhouse a couple years ago. Said he was going to come down here in between Braves games and try to watch some of his guys in action. Price got a 3-0 count.
The sun came back out. It's messing with him.
Yeah, that's right. Sure. Price out of Madison County, 24th ranked shortstop in Alabama. Ooh, man. Uh-oh. Is Connor Smith going to get all three of them via K? He's got a full count here against Price. He's been up to the challenge here in the second inning, trying to back up his offense, taking a 2-0 lead. Oh, he wanted it. He thought he had it. He thought he had it. He was going to do the Conor McGregor strut around the mound if he got that one. But he will not get back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. Instead, he'll have a base runner aboard as Price works the walk, and it brings up Ledger Martin.
That's a guy that's like, hey, man, let's turn the sprinklers back on.
That's right.
Dealing in the rain. The sun's back out. It's messing with him.
Well, in that case, he's going to start Ledger Martin out with a 2-0 count.
Oh, that's
There's
one
ball
step
one.
in the right direction.
Martin's from Oakman, Alabama. 6 foot, 170 pounder. Just watch ball one here from Smith. Fouls that off, and it'll be 1-1 instead of 2-0. I know for your sanity, though, the worst part is when we have the heat lightning, when it just like seemingly comes out of nowhere. And it seems like everything's great, and all of a sudden it's like, why in the world are we not playing a baseball game?
The 95-degree sun out lightning delay
Yeah.
will inevitably be what gets me at some point in this life of mine. A 95-degree sun's out lightning delay with a storm over Lake Allatoona. If you see me walking around with gray hair by the age of 30,
That'll
just come
be it.
find me.
Yeah. Runner takes off for second. Holstein's throw. Did they get him? They did. Couldn't get him via the strikeout, but they leave him in his tracks at second. 2-0 lead for Ranger Scout. Avery, I know you got to go, man. We'll see you real soon. We'll be back. You're watching the state games of Georgia.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Jalen Seabrooks at the plate now. We apologize for jumping in a little bit late. Moving out from Avery Hunt to now Jack McCartney here in studio. 2-2 count here to Jalen Seabrooks, who's 1 for 1. Fouls that one off of his foot, and it's right back to Jackson. You know, that didn't feel good. That's Smarts. Seabrooks going to try to walk that one off. 2-0 lead here for Texas Ranger Scout. Jack, you were down in the field there for the first couple of innings. An impressive start here for Ranger Scout. Weren't able to really capitalize when they had the bases loaded. They do get out of it with 2 runs, but an impressive in the way that they've been able to produce a lot of traffic on the base pass, and it almost feels to this point like it's a matter of time before these guys are in position to try to blow this open.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job offensively on finding gaps, and they've had a couple moments of you know, we'll say bad base running. We had that, you know, that rundown on third.
Yeah,
but
well, that I'm gonna put that on the athletic prowess of Mason Gandy as he ran down the base runner, because that's going to be an early contender for one of the best moments we have. That's a dribbler off the bat of Seabrooks' second. He's got some speed. Cannot beat that one out, though. So he grounds out to Lee at second, so that's out number 1.
Yeah, but they've done a great job of finding gaps and you know, figuring out what they can do on
they're putting the ball
base
in
path,
play.
and they're doing a great job right now.
And they're being backed up on the mound by Connor Smith out of Cherokee High School. Came 1 pitch away from 3 strikeouts to end that second inning. Ends up allowing a base runner, but they did throw him out at second, so no harm, no foul there. Jackson pumps that in for strike here to Jonah Witten, the Kennesaw State commit out of Silverdale Baptist in Tennessee.
Well, and right now it's going to be a little bit of a difficult time for both these teams because it was raining.
Yeah,
it was raining.
Yeah.
It was raining kind of hard for a
second. It sure was. Now the base paths are going to be slick.
The balls are going to be a little slick, but it's also going to be humid, and so now you're going to deal with the fact that you're unbearably hot, but the field is still, and the field and ball are still wet.
Well, the thing we always watch for is the bags wet, and we watch base runners slide over top of these bases all the time after there's been any kind of moisture on these fields. So that's certainly going to be a storyline, whether we have any more rain or not. So I hope these guys are all too prepared for it. I would say the Ranger Scout guys, a number of them have played here in high school games. They may be a little bit more acclimated to what these fields do in weather.
Well, and their head coach was even saying it while when the rain first started. He said, "Hey guys, it's going to be wet. You're going to have to slide early because of these
there you go.
base
See,
paths."
they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know. Look at that. You're bringing the sideline reporting into this. That's fantastic. Full count. He ropes that. 92.7. That's on its way into the left field corner. Camera can't cut that way, and neither can I.
You're trying to get the lean effect.
I keep thinking, I don't know why I ever think like if I lean, I'm going to be able to see around the side, like I'm gonna suddenly be able to be like, oh, I really can see into that corner, but I can't.
Well, basketball players talk about it all the time. They feel like if they lean the way they, it helps their shot.
A little English. Let's say a little English. Yeah. Full count here to Winton. Oh man, swings through that. Nearly had himself a bomb. Instead, he's a strikeout victim. Now 2 down in the inning. Jackson having an inning he sorely needed after giving up 2 runs in the second. And bring up Spencer Norman. What a pretty nasty 4, 5, and 6 this Ranger Scout team has with Jalen Seabrooks, Jonah Winton, and Spencer Norman. Count me as a big Spencer Norman fan, though. This guy is a ball of talent. Again, he was here a number of times in the past. He was here for junior feature games in both 23 and 24, super sophomore games last summer. I already penciled him in for top prospect games in June, and certainly a guy when you start figuring out what a Georgia feature games roster is going to look like. I feel like Spencer Norman, a guy that could certainly find himself here at the end of July in front of those hundreds of college coaches. 24th ranked outfielder in Georgia. He's 95th overall in the class. Exit velos north of 103 with a bat speed of 88.3 miles an hour. Like Doc Brown would tell us, when it gets to 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And some serious stuff can come off the bat of Spencer Norman. He's got a 1-1 count here against Jackson. 2 down, 2-0 lead for Ranger Scout. He gets that one, 94.2. That one's going foul. That's 3 times that we've seen Ranger Scout bats level a ball that goes foul into the left field corner. I'm just waiting. One of these is going to slip inside that foul pole. The count's 1-2. Jackson's thrown 60 pitches. Here comes the 1-2 to Norman. Swings through it, and just like the last batter, Jonah Witten, Spencer Norman laces one into foul territory, 90+, but he is a strikeout victim. Avery Jackson's got us through 2.5. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back to our action. Ledger Martin going to lead things off here for Viper Baseball Academy. His last AB was cut short. The runner was thrown out at second, so his second attempt here at his first AB will be followed by Finley Redding and then Hayden Davis. So got 8, 9, and 10 due up here for Viper Baseball Academy. Connor Smith back on the mound here for Ranger Scout. Looked awfully impressive in that second inning. Had a little bit of wonkiness in that first inning. Kept running counts 2-0 and finding his way through some things. Allowed some base runners. But I thought he was fantastic in that second inning. Just throwing a whole bunch of moxie. That rain pouring down. Real nice control of that secondary stuff. And he starts off Ledger Martin here 0-1. So we have our first final here in the GHSA State Championships. Gordon Lee. So congratulations to Gordon Lee taking down Vidalia. They peeled those boys like an onion, and they're state champions here in Georgia.
Yeah, they're the 1A D1 state champions. They had a record of 38-3.
It's incredible.
Lost 2 games.
Ooh, that was vicious.
Lost 2 games in the entire regular season. Lost 1 game in the playoffs.
Wow.
And that was in the state championship.
Who did they lose to in the regular season?
They lost to Heritage.
Okay.
And they lost to, I can't think of the other one right now. They lost to Silverdale Academy.
Okay.
So, but I mean, 38-3 is
unbelievable.
Insane.
Well, congratulations to Gordon Lee, state champs. 2-2 count here to Martin. It's a driller. Third base has it. Throw on the run. It'll be out number 1. Great job there by Jonah Witten, man. Future Owl making plays in the shadow of Kennesaw State. And we've had some Kennesaw State ads on this broadcast. I feel like we're leaning into the Jonah Witten business here. This Ranger Scout Team VBA matchup. Finley Redding's turn. Out of Lindsay Lane Christian Academy in Alabama. You watch his strike one. He's a 5'7", 125-pound righty. I wonder if Lindsay Lane is a person or is Lindsay Lane a street. That's over top of Smith's got that. He stops that. Man, we've seen some athleticism from Connor Smith. Kind of pirouette, stops that with his glove. Second base was like, dude, that's mine. But Connor Smith made it his, and there's now 2 down. Bring up Hayden Davis.
Yeah, I mean, this Ranger Scout team's done a great job.
Yeah, the solid squad.
They're very athletic too.
And this VBA team, I've mentioned this to Avery a few times. Yellowhammer State games in Georgia is oftentimes a precursor for guys that we end up seeing at the future games, and there are so many guys in this VBA squad that are going to find themselves at the Yellowhammer State games, and maybe that ends up being a senior game, a senior future games invite for some guys, as we've seen that event certainly explode in the last 2 years. I felt last year it just kind of, the first year when we had it 2 years ago, it sort of felt like, what is this thing? And then I felt like last year we just had some unbelievable performances coming out of the senior future games. So, but Hayden Davis, 10th batter in the order here for VBA, is among these players who will be at the Yellowhammer State games, among those 27s. Sipsey Valley, Alabama. Primarily a right-handed pitcher who runs it up to about 80, but exit velos north of 92 at the plate. He's playing right field today for VBA. My camera's getting a little wonky, a little dizzy here. Like, stop field 10 camera, you're drunk, go home. Comes a 3-1. Oh, man, Smith slips that in, and that was just absolutely nasty. I'm about to go into this commercial break. I'm going to go enter in my application for the Connor Smith fan club because this guy is dealing. We are through 3. Rangers Scout leads 2-0 when we come back.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. 2-0 lead for Ranger Scout over VBA. So I prematurely named Gordon Lee state champions. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I don't. No. They won.
Okay, they won.
But they're the second team to win.
The second team. Okay, all right. So still congratulations to Gordon Lee. But we have another state champ. So
I'm pretty sure Lanier County
is state champs as well.
So they were the 1A D2 state champions.
Okay.
They played both their games last night.
So they won in 2.
So I mean, it's definitely going to be weird with the weather. Because
there are going to be some of these are going to have to get revamped with all the rain that we've got
Advent
coming
Health
in.
Stadium's the only stadium out of all the state championships that is turf.
And I think
there's mounds and the actual batter's boxes aren't turf, they're dirt. So the two places where most of the game happens is still dirt, and then Georgia Southern's fields, that's a pretty far miles away. So I don't really know the weather down there, but Columbus might get some rain. Gwinnett might get some rain this week.
Yeah, I think the state of Georgia is going to get some rain. Edwards at the plate. He fouls that off. We have a new pitcher on the mound here for VBA. Avery Jackson exits Finley Redding, and out of, again, Lindsay Lane Christian Academy takes over. Should have spent my time during the commercial figuring out if Lindsay Lane was a street or if Lindsay Lane was actually somebody who's that Christian Academy was named after. Maybe I'll have to ask Finley post-game. But he's got an 0-2 count here against Edwards. Misses. Stopped by Gandy, though. Counts 1-2. Yeah, Jackson went 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And his replacement, Redding's got a 1-2 count here to Edwards. That gets right past Redding. Shortstop has it. Can he make the throw in time? He does. Price gets the base runner. Showing off those moves there at shortstop. Great job defensively for out number 1, backing up his new pitcher. So now Jacob Gonzalez. We got Dominic Hopkins in the on deck. Jumps on the first pitch. It's on its way into right field. Got him on the run. Can he make a play on it? Gloves it as he extends. Nope, he drops that one. Gonzalez is going to be at second. Looked like it might have been caught. I think it hit off the top of his glove. So Jacob Gonzalez is aboard with 1 out. And then, in fact, was scored an error. Second error in this game for VBA. So now a runner in scoring position here for Ranger Scout. Brings up Hopkins. .6'5", 200-pound righty. 16th ranked first baseman in Georgia. He's 282 overall in the class of 27. Just a big dude, 6'5", 200 pounds. What you call an expansive strike zone. And it's 0-1. Redding, knees bent, looks back at the runner. Pumps that in for a strike. Counts now 0-2. Weston Clements, a second baseman in the on-deck circle. Uh-oh, gets away from him. Gandy can't get that. It's going all the way to the backstop. Runner will advance to third. So Gonzalez reaches via air, and now a pass ball has allowed him to get 90 feet from another run. It's a base runner, VBA would have just assumed seen wiped off the face of the earth, but misplayed ball in right, and now they've got another one 90 feet from another run, already trailing 2-0. Did you get some intel?
Okay, so after some extensive research, I could not find a Lindsay Lane person. I could find Lindsay Lane North and Lindsay Lane South. Lindsay Lane Academy is not, or Christian Academy is not on Lindsay Lane. But there is a Lindsay Lane Baptist Church, which is on Lindsay Lane. Whew. So I think Lindsay Lane.
So you're telling me what you know is nothing.
Well, so what I believe is Lindsay Lane Christian Academy is named after the street, which is the Baptist Church is on.
Okay.
So that's.
Alrighty.
I could be wrong, and we could. I mean, if you have any intel, please comment and tell me I'm wrong. But this is. That's what the comment. That's what the comment section's for.
Yeah. They're going to be like, you have Google in front of you. Counts 1-2. Hopkins got Gonzalez at third. Oh, a defensive swing. Gets it to the shortstop. He throws, but they're going to trade an out for a run. So now 2 down, but the lead is now 3-0. And Hopkins done that twice now. He's got himself 2 RBI in this game, and both of them have come off of almost defensive swings. 1 to second, 1 to third. But he's got 2 RBIs. He's had no chance to stand at first base in this game. But he's delivered 2 of the runs in this one for Ranger Scout. I'm sure he'll gladly take that.
If it works, it works.
Well, he's getting the job done. Now Weston Clements, the second baseman. Bases are cleared.
Might be a defensive swing, but he's doing a lot for the offense right now.
That's right. Sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and we've seen that from Weston Clements from Hopkins on those defensive swing. Weston Clements out of Sonoraville is now up to 27. Playing second base today. Redding spikes that one. Counts now 1-1. Ranger Scout now has 3 runs on 4 hits. Just 1 hit for VBA in this one. Clements laces that into right field. It's going to be down for a 2-out single. Clements with hit number 5 for Ranger Scout. It's going to move us to the top of the order, and Heath Ward out of Woodstock. He's got a Woodstock Wolverines bandana underneath that helmet. Saw it pregame. Shout out Wolverines, even though you went to Etowah. They're
not shout out Wolverines.
Yeah, the wrong side of the Town Lake rivalry. Yeah.
There's a reason why half of it's called Eagle Drive. And not Woodstock Street.
Not Wolverine Way.
No.
Yeah, they should split it. So those who know that neck of the woods, it should be split, and one half of it should be Wolverine Way, and the other side should be Eagle Drive.
Well, the issue is Woodstock's not right off the street. Woodstock, you got to go up a little bit.
So,
like you got to
okay.
go off the street.
That is true.
So Etowah is literally you turn off of the street and you
It's
get
right there. You
Etowah.
can see Etowah from the road, but you can't see Woodstock. That one's foul.
And you can see Etowah this Tuesday against North Paulding. in the state
Oh, yes,
championship game.
yep. They will be playing in Gwinnett at Coolray Stadium for a state championship, potentially their second in 3 years. A lot of unfinished business when you start talking to those Etowah guys. And I think, talking to Deion Cole, talking to Matthew Sharman and Trevor Condon, those guys, I think last year was probably the best thing that could have happened to those guys because it would have been so easy to have won another state title last year and for those guys to almost like be coasting through life at this point. Obviously, the MLB draft is looming for all three of those big players in that Etowah squad. And I'm not saying that means they wouldn't have tried to have won another one, but I think it gave them an edge. I think losing last year when maybe it felt like they were predestined to win a state championship has really given those guys, they're all gas, no brakes right now.
Yeah.
And they are ready to win another championship. So that's going to be a blast. And then North Paulding has been unbelievable. Been nationally ranked for almost the entire year. Ward rips that in the left field, 92.2 off his bat. Another single, now 2 aboard with 2 down. Back-to-back 2-out hits here for Ranger Scout. But yeah, North Paulding's been unbelievable. Etowah was preseason top 50 team in prep baseball's national rankings. So it really gets no better in the state of Georgia than what we've got between those two squads. So really looking forward to watching those two teams. And you'll be on site for that in Gwinnett.
Mm-hmm.
But
my birthday.
There you go. So 2 years ago, Etowah won a state championship on that same field. Condon had a no doubt insane home run that he pulled into right field. So there's been some big moments for those Eagles on that field, but that North Paulding Wolfpack, nothing to mess with. Those guys have been, again, unbelievable all year. Wesley Mooring and that team ready to put a punctuation on what's been a really great season for them.
Well, and when you talk about Etowah, you talk about some of these other teams. You always talk about the fact that there's just so many high-ranked guys on those teams, and you talk about the commitments. North Paulding, they're kind of proving that you don't need.
Well, but Mooring's going to Southern Miss, though.
Yeah,
he's no slouch. He's a top 10 player in Georgia.
But what I'm trying to say is you don't need 20 Power 4 commits. You don't need.
Well, sometimes it's about the sum of the parts, and I think that's been the storyline for North Paulding in this one. Lawson Sheffield's a great player. They've got a number of guys on that team. Pass ball, another pass ball. I believe that's number 4 in this game for VBA. They've 2 errors, number of pass balls. They've certainly not done themselves a lot of favors in this one. There's been some really great defensive plays in this game for VBA, but I certainly feel they've certainly been helping things along here for Ranger Scout with some of these miscues. But we're early on in the season, and I bet if you were to check out this VBA team, say 3-4 weeks from now, it's going to be a very different level of play. A lot of these guys getting back together for the first time after the end of the high school seasons. Braylon Bowles aboard. He's got a 3-1 count. And Bowles watches ball 4.
And I will say no sponsorship included in this, but I was real tempted to go to Buc-ee's last night when Buc-ee's is 8 miles off of the.
You were in proximity.
I was in. I was in close proximity to the wonderful world of Buc-ee's last night, and
you were well within shouting distance of the Beaver Nuggets.
Everything's in shouting distance with those places. They're so dang.
Yeah.
They're almost as big as the Champion Center when you look at
true. Square footage. Bases are loaded again for Ranger Scout. This has been par for the course these last couple innings. Holstein's got a 1-1 count. Couldn't quite blow this game open last inning when they had this opportunity. In the second inning when they had this opportunity. Avery Jackson did a great job on the mound in the third and silencing this Ranger Scout offense, but they couldn't quite blow things open in the second. They got another chance here, but there are 2 down. 1-2 count. Does Redding slam the door in strand 3? Holstein's 0 for 1. Sends that one foul. Man, he's got the trigger ready to go.
I mean, there's a pretty big gap in between that left field and center.
He's
field
getting
gap.
wide. He's got that 2-strike setup now, taking away the mechanics of that swing. He's trying to be quick with the trigger here. Puts it in play, gets through. Yep, nobody's making a play on that one. Here comes another base runner. Holstein's got himself a 2-out single, and the Rangers' lead just keeps growing here in the 4th inning. They've now added 2 more. It's 5-0. And Holstein, was that the moment that blows this thing open? The way that we've seen Connor Smith pitch, you got to feel like 5 runs is a million runs right now, the way that guy's been locked in. Certainly his work becomes a little bit simpler as his offense is backing him up, and Seabrook's now going to try to extend this lead. Still 2 base runners aboard with 2 down.
I mean, that was perfectly placed.
It sure
and,
was.
You cannot get a better hit than that in the infield.
Yeah, and again, I mean, they've had some really good middle defense in this game from VBA. Price at short, Lee at second, but Price wasn't gloving that, just outside of his reach, and Holstein comes through with a 2-run single. It's a strike, a low strike against Seabrooks. He's 1 for 2. Five runs on 7 hits here for Ranger Scout. They've scored 3 runs in this inning, had 2 in the second. Seabrooks would love to add some more. Exit velos 96.1, bat speed north of 80 miles an hour for the Georgia Premier 27. I'm really excited for that top prospect games in June. Talking to Hudson Graham, Prep Baseball Georgia scouting director. You know, there's going to be absolutely loaded field for that one. Seabrooks goes down on strikes, 2 stranded, but Ranger Scout has got 3 runs on the board. They lead 5-0 when we come back.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. We've got Asher Long, Avery Jackson, and Braden Lee due up for Viper Baseball. I see we got a new pitcher on the mound for Ranger Scout with them leading 5-0. They now turned it over to Dye. So that's the new pitcher in for Ranger Scout. Again, Asher Long going to lead things off here for VBA. To give you a little more intel on our new pitcher here for Ranger Scout. We'll say these first couple games, sometimes the rosters aren't 100% put together. All right, Jack. I'm going to turn it over to you here for this inning. Ranger Scout up 5-0. Jack on the call.
All right. First pitch of the at-bat is a strike called 1.
Yeah, Asher Long, 1 for 1. And again, he's one of those guys, Yellowhammer State Games invitee. Ton of guys in this VBA squad. We'll see him there.
Just a little low. There's ball 2.
Yeah, gets away from Holstein. And that's something we didn't see a lot during the exchanges there with Connor Smith. He didn't let much past him at all. Been extremely Wall-esque, if you will, behind the plate in this one. Been a really good defensive catcher. Well, misses arm.
Yeah, just a little low.
Yeah, misses arm side.
I mean, guys talk about it all the time. When there's no batter in there, it's a little bit more of a you're just playing catch. But when the guy goes into the box, it's makes it a little bit more difficult when you don't want to hit them. So that one's fouled off for making it 2-2. Try to see if Asher Long and this VBA team can try to make a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, they got to try to fight back, right? Like they just gave up 3 runs in that inning. They've had allowed the bases loaded twice in 3 innings. They need to mount some kind of a response here, watching this game slip away from them. And we're playing hour 45 time limits throughout the day today, worth noting. I think everything was kind of scaled back a little bit because of the changes in the schedule. The off-site games all moved here to LakePoint Sports, as Avery Hunt was talking about early in the game. So they're squeezing a whole lot of baseball into this facility today off those games that were moved over here. So a lot to fit in. So we've got about 30 minutes left in this one.
And he's just fouling everything off right now, just, he's waiting on his pitch, but if it's in there, you've got to try to foul it off so you can have better opportunities.
I was really impressed with Connor Smith. He ends up going 3 innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 5, 1 walk.
It's a little humid in here.
Yeah, it's starting to warm up. And the weather has just been a roller coaster today. It was extremely stormy in Metro Atlanta here to start off the day. Then it got really hot. Then it got rainy again. Now it's hot again. So we are in full summer mode.
And Asher Long's doing a great job right now of waiting on his pitch. And
well, he's working the new pitcher, right?
He's
he's making a guy who just jumped in and saying, okay, look, the last guy was mowing us down. We're going to make you show us you can consistently throw strikes. Plops that one center field. Oh, man, did he catch that? Yep. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Spencer Norman, my man, Spencer Norman making that catch in center field. Man, that was a moment for Norman, man. He just made a run on that one. The 24th ranked outfitter in Georgia making a fantastic catch. And if he gets past him, that's trouble.
Yeah,
that's a runner at second.
Yeah, that's 2 or maybe even 3 right there. I mean, just did a great job of making that pitch count go up right there and fouling off the ones he didn't want and hitting it where he did on.
Yeah, that was an 8-pitch AB, but the wind ultimately dies away as Norman backed him up with a great play in center.
Be funny if his first name was Ty.
Yeah,
I know it's not, but that'd be pretty good.
Well, misses low. So Avery Jackson was the starting pitcher for VBA. Oh, that one is
bouncer.
It had a ramp. It's a projectile off of Holstein. So he walked him on 4 pitches. So Jackson's aboard now. Braden Lee's turn. Lee's 0 for 1. Still just 1 hit for VBA, it should be noted.
Yeah. It's always iffy on that 3-0 count when the pitcher will just throw it down the middle.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, we saw it yesterday in that Nationals Braves game. Pitched right 99 miles per hour right down the middle, and C.J. Abrams just hits it right into the chop house.
C.J. Abrams, a guy here for Blessed Trinity we saw
Yep.
on these fields a number of times. Counts 0-1. 0-1 here to Lee.
I will say, I feel like on that Nationals team, almost a third of them have played here before.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to only get more so when you've got, Brady House already on board, and then obviously Harry Ford's on his way, having joined that organization. So there's going to be a whole lot more guys.
Yeah.
The Nationals picks, Eli Willits eventually when he gets there as well. Just on and on and on.
I don't know if Eli Willits played here.
He did.
He did?
Yep. So he hits Lee. So a walk and a hit by pitch. And now 2 on for VBA. Can they get something going here? Big bad Cash Crow's turn. The 6'5", 235-pounder.
I will say that is one of my favorite names I've seen. Looks like they're waiting on something, or I think we're getting a pitching change, maybe.
So back in the 80s, there was a Tango and Cash movie that was Sylvester Stallone. So you got Mac and Cash because that's his brother, Mac Crow. So you got Cash Crow and Mac Crow. So Cash and Mac is it's a pretty awesome buddy cop movie.
Yeah?
Yeah. Crow going to try to do some damage here. Fouls the first one off. That Cash is 6'5", 235 pounds. Can he deliver a moment that VBA most certainly needs? Again, still have just one hit. They found a little bit more success since the pitching change away from Smith. Ooh, man, can't lay off that elevated pitch. And I think what you're starting to notice with Crow is there's a little bit of a drop in velo, and seemingly everything looks good enough to swing at. As he couldn't lay off that pitch. Wants to do some damage. You can't blame him. A lot hasn't gone right for VBA offensively in this game, but this is the right bat at the right time. If he can connect. Fouls that one down the right side. So we'll have to wait at least one more pitch. After Crow is Wesley Holland, the extra hitter. Uh-oh, Crow drops that into right field. A little bit of a bloop hit, but he's going to have, not going to score a run off that one. So just not deep enough to score the runner. So now they got the bases loaded. If you were expecting some big EVs out of Crow's bat, he just flips the script and dropped that down into right field. A little bit of a bloop, but he is aboard, and now the bases are juiced for Holland. So Wesley Holland out of Arab High School, 6'1", 227-pounder. Gigantic opportunity here for VBA. That's a strike. So Cash Crow does play football. Look at that. It's like a defensive end. Or maybe a defensive tackle, but. Die misses outside. Counts now even here to Holland. That Crow hit just the second in the game for VBA, but they have the bases juice and an opportunity. They fight their way back into this game. Fouls that off. It's now 1-2. Dice thrown 23 pitches here in this inning. The 9-pitch AB to start things off. Ooh, just misses outside. Count 2-2. Trying to live on the edge there. Trying to see if he can get him to overextend. Mason Gandy awaits.
I mean, there's an opportunity in left field to let him pull, and there's a pretty decent gap in that left field line.
Well, he goes down on strike, so you just took away any potential of a sac fly delivering an RBI in the first run of the game for VBA, and now there's still bases loaded, but 2 outs here for Mason Gandy, the catcher. And again, go back, we've been treated by some great skill sets here from Gandy. He's shown a lot defensively, including some blazing speed as he ran down a runner, got him in a pickle, and said, I'm not throwing, I'm just going to turn this into a foot race.
And you see the stadium pulse is starting to set.
It sure is, yeah. Stadium pulse is building here for Gandy. Uh-oh, Holstein stops that.
I always feel like we need the meter.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We just start building that in. We'll get our graphics department in, and we'll start having the little stadium pulse meter growing. I'm still not 100% sure why that ever happens, especially when there's no
really
breeze.
windy.
Yeah, there's not. No, it's awfully odd.
It's pretty humid out.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like summer. We had really mild weather for a while. 1-1 count here to Gandy. Die misses high. Gandy exit velos near triple digits. Bat speed north of 73 miles an hour. Can he deliver a big moment here for VBA? They certainly need it. And he does get it past. Did he get past the shortstop? The throw is not in time.
No, it is.
Oh, it is in time. Man, what a great job at shortstop there from Edwards. Able to get the runner at third. Keeps VBA off the board. Dye gets out of a jam. Rangers still lead 5-0. We'll be back. You're watching the state games of Georgia.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. 5-0 lead for Rangers Scout over VBA here in the state games of Georgia. And everybody loves the immaculate inning, Jack. So we've got our prep baseball version of this. With the prep-maculate inning?
Yeah, prep-maculate grid.
The prep-maculate grid. The prep-maculate grid. This is great.
I think that's what I'm going to start calling it.
All right,
or maybe
I like
just
this.
the prep baseball grid. But
Well, I like the prep baseball grid. The prep-maculate grid is a mouthful, but
yeah. So the prep baseball grid, I've played Immaculate Grid so many times over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I figured, why not just throw it into the broadcast?
All right, I love this.
So I figured you could go through and we'll just name off one of the things.
Okay.
This is a pretty easy one. I can make it tougher if this is, too easy level for you, but I don't really think it's going to be. But so we got a future gamer who was Player of the Year for Prep Baseball. Now, there's not been very many Prep Baseball National Player of the Years, but there's enough where one of them has played in the future games.
Okay.
Can you name one of the Prep Baseball Player of the Years who played in the future games?
Well, Ethan Holiday didn't play in the future games.
No, but you're close.
Connor Griffin didn't play in the future games.
No, but I'd say in the same household.
Okay. So Jackson Holiday.
Jackson Holiday
Right.
played in the future games and was Prep Baseball Player of the Year.
Okay.
A Prep Baseball Player of the Year who participated in Super 60.
Prep Baseball Player of the Year who participated in Super 60.
Or we'll just say just any state Player of the Year who participated in Super 60.
Wow. Okay. This is actually like when you put it on the spot like this, it actually becomes harder than you think. Does Drew Burris count?
Yes, Drew Burris does count.
All right.
All right, a Player of the Year who participated in the All-American game.
A Player of the Year who participated in the All-American game.
Yep.
All right, so then we'll go with Ethan Holiday.
Yep.
So we got
All
both
right.
Holidays in the top.
All right. We won't say they went to Vanderbilt, but we'll say they were committed to Vanderbilt. So a future gamer who committed to Vanderbilt.
A future gamer who committed to Vanderbilt. Oh, man. Uh-oh, that one's 85.6 mile an hour off the bat of Winton. It's going to be out number 1. Vanderbilt commit who was at the future games. Let's go. I feel like I should have had these in advance. I feel like doing this live is a little bit more complicated than I thought because I'm trying to watch the game while we're doing this.
Yeah.
So not that I would have cheated, but down in the bottom corner there, junior with the future games and out of Georgia, I'm going to go to my man Dane Moeller down there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then Georgia Super 60. And there's a ton of those over the years.
Yeah. Well, R.J. Cope, who was in here with me in studio, was supposed to be there, but he didn't actually make it. So we're going to go Colin White.
Okay.
In that one.
I thought you were going to go Cooper Underwood.
No, and then I'm going to go Ty Peoples for
Okay.
All-American game in Georgia down there in the corner.
Okay. From the first ever All-American game.
Yeah. Yeah, we
One
had
of the
Ty
first-
Peoples up in Milwaukee for that one. He was also LakePoint Player of the Year that year as well. Norman's got a 2-1 count.
Or what about a Vanderbilt commit that participated in the All-American game?
Vanderbilt commit, All-American game. Oh, man, I can see him.
There's a pretty easy one
playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates now in their system. 98.8 off the bat of Norman, but that one's...
There's an even easier
one. Wow. That's going to be a base hit. I know, but I'm trying to ratchet up the degree of difficulty because I'm taking so long to knock these out. Who am I thinking of? It was up to 101 in his first outing this spring. Oh, man. Why am I two-way out of California?
That was Seth Hernandez.
Yeah, Seth Hernandez.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, Seth Hernandez. Norman taking off for second. Well, you got me on the spot. I'm trying to call a game while we're doing this as well.
I would have said there's a pretty easier one. From Chattanooga, played here last year. You got Noah Wilson.
Yeah, Noah Wilson's a good one, yeah. But see, you made this, so you have an edge up on me. You just kind of dropped it on me. Now, Sean Duncan, president of Prep Baseball, is going to see this. And he's like, Cory, you should have been all over these. You know all these guys. And I'm like, yeah, but I was in the middle of calling a baseball game while we were trying to do this. Edwards pops it up. Who's got it? Shortstop says he does, and that's out number 2. All right, which ones we got left?
All right, so we got Vanderbilt future games, and then Vanderbilt and Super 60.
All right, well, I have to check on just to see if I'm correct on this. I was. Bo Holloway. I'm going Bo Holloway out of Tennessee, 2026. I'm just double-checking my work here. So Bo Holloway was the Vanderbilt commit and future gamer.
Noah Wilson also.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah. Vanderbilt Super 60, and that's it.
Vanderbilt and Super 60. Well, wasn't Noah Wilson at Super? Wasn't Noah Wilson at Super 60?
I don't believe so. I'll look though.
That one's into center field. Going to bring it into the inning. So some more traffic on the base pass for Rangers scout. Their lead is still 5-0.
No, he did not participate in the Super 60.
All right, give me a Vanderbilt. You give me a Vanderbilt commit at Super 60. See, you don't even know.
Well, hold on. I'm just checking my work.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna go.
I thought maybe EJ Booth Jr. did, but he did not. Vanderbilt and Super 60. See, I made this, but I didn't really think too much on it.
Well, I thought you would have already had like a million of these that you already would have went through. I thought you would have already told me you had every one of them already locked in. But you're telling me you didn't, so you didn't actually go through and... Colin Bland.
Yeah, there you go.
There, Colin Bland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Also.
All right, so we're going... All right, so we're going to... Just to recap, we're going to go Jackson Holiday for Future Games and Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And for Super 60 and Player of the Year, we were going with... who did I say for that one? For Drew Burris. And then the top right corner, All-American Game and Player of the Year, we're going with Ethan Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So then with Vanderbilt and Future Games, we're going Bo Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
Super 60 and Vanderbilt commit, we're going Colin Bland.
Mm-hmm.
And then with All-American Game and Vanderbilt, we were going... Who did I pick for that one?
You picked Seth Hernandez.
Seth Hernandez. All right. So then for Georgia and Future Games, we're going Dane Moeller.
Mm-hmm.
Super 60 and Georgia, I went with... Who'd I
You
pen
went
on
with
that
Colin
one?
White.
I went Colin White. And then All-American Game in Georgia, we're going Ty Peoples.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There you go. There's
I love it.
complete grid.
Yeah.
There
Next
you go.
time we do this, I'm going to see it ahead of time. Just so I can
have a better...
just a frame of reference. Not even to
look it up.
to look it up, just to think on it, just to have it, just to think on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, some days...
Sometimes with Immaculate Inning, you don't immediately answer the Immaculate Inning. You kind of just at least I don't typically do it this way. I'll start it, and then I'll think on them, and then come back to it and do it periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
whenever you got time, you just kind of
it's not like
pull out the phone.
Yeah. Not like Wordle, where I get 5 chances at it and it's over.
Yeah, well, now they added it on the Immaculate Grid where you can actually, you can mess up and you can still go again.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So once you get, all 9 of them, if you miss one, it doesn't count towards your score, but you can it still counts as a guess.
Okay. But now when you share this on social media, you can go back and just do it when I give all the ones at the end instead of the preamble where it takes me 2 minutes to think about things.
I might show a little bit of that.
Okay, that's not as much fun. Then it just seems like I'm out of touch. But I know all these guys. We know. It's almost like there's too much rolling around up there.
Well, yeah, the issue is some of them. There's so many of them that
is true. Yeah,
you're trying to make sure it's you're picking a deeper pull.
2-2 count here for Lawson Price, by the way. Ooh, misses inside, runs it full. We got about 10 minutes left on the clock, too. So VBA is the home team. So I think if you're Ranger Scout, you'd like this inning to last just long enough to make sure that you don't have to hit again. 5-0 lead. Runner aboard now to start things off. Dye's thrown 34 pitches. Of course, stick around after the game. We'll talk player of the game and recap everything from the state games of Georgia. Talk about next week's broadcast. We got the Prep Baseball Showdown coming up next week. We'll have some more players trickle in after the end of the high school season, so that'll be more exciting. We'll get some bigger names here on campus, which is always a lot of fun. And, of course, everything just is early on, just leading up to NPI, and then we'll go right into the national championships, and then all those guys trying to vie for those spots in the future games, the senior future games, the junior future games. And the next thing you know, the summer's going to be over with, and you're going to have to go back to school. There you go. It just all happens. It's it just goes like that.
Yeah. It doesn't really feel like that when you're in the moment, but at
No.
the end, it's like, oh wow.
It steamrolls past.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things when you're in it. It's like being a parent. It's like they say that the days seem long, but the years go fast.
Yeah.
Here in the prep baseball schedule, the days seem long, but the tournaments go fast.
Indeed.
You like that?
Indeed.
2-1 count here to Martin. Ledger Martin. Price aboard via the walk. This is a strike from Dye. Adidas Memorial Day Classic going on over at the Champion Center. You're going to make your way over there for some hoops action, right?
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that event is today, tomorrow, and Monday. And then we've also got Cam Newton 7-on-7 as well.
Yeah, I haven't
on.
seen. I'm sure Cam and his hats are stalking around at Publix Field somewhere. 2-2 count.
So parking right now is
It's tough.
You
Yeah,
almost gotta pay someone to just stand in your spot. So
Yeah.
when you leave, you got a spot when you come back.
I feel like if you owned one of the restaurants that was right outside there, right outside the LakePoint Sports Complex, you could just like charge for parking. you know?
Yeah, there's that parking. There's that little parking spot next to Varsity.
Martin drops that in for a base hit. Runner taking off for second, was a little slow, thinking he might have made that catch, and he was going to have to backtrack to first. But now they got him at first and second with nobody out. And bring up Finley Redding.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty smart from the left fielder right there. He acted like he was going to go for it, and then kind of slowed down a little bit.
It's kind of deked him a little bit, yeah.
So he could try to get the lead runner out right there, but
that one spikes. Holstein stops from going any further. We saw a Dye get out of a jam. Bases were loaded, but VBA couldn't break through. Now they got another opportunity brewing here with 2 on and nobody out in the 5th. Time's ticking away in this one. Again, we're playing hour 45 throughout the day today to try to catch up schedule-wise. It completely changed the complexity at our game. We expected to be on air at 12:40, then it was going to be 2 o'clock, and then we got on air closer to 3. So everything's been pushed back a little bit here throughout the day, but the sun's out.
Guns are out.
Yeah, I don't see a storm cloud in sight.
Knock on wood. Sadly, there's no wood around us.
Well,
but
frankly,
from home you can knock on wood.
Frankly and selfishly, I'm only really interested in about the next 6 minutes of there not being any rain as we're inching toward the completion of game time. Rangers Scout has produced 5 runs on 8 hits in this one. No runs, 3 hits for VBA. They committed 2 errors. It's going to be a strike. Counts now 3-1 here to Redding. It was a great job, though, on that prep baseball grid. I think that's going to be a good feature for us going forward. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see guys like Sean Duncan and Shooter get a chance to do this.
That would be...
And Sean and I have talked about that before. He goes, I would destroy that. So I think when we've got him, it's going to be great.
NPR,
and I think you build out a number of them. We've got him to come back to. We can kind of bring them up at different points.
Yeah, we're gonna go real specific on some.
Yeah.
Where there's only 1 or 2 guys.
Like first round draft pick, and I think you could do a lot of fun
if you
stuff.
went first round draft pick in Oklahoma, there's 3 or 4 guys in the last 5 years who would fit that.
Yeah. All right, Dye is going to exit with the bases loaded for the second time. Not that he's exiting with the bases loaded for the second time, but for the second time, Dye's allowed the bases loaded. This time, it's the end of his relief appearance, so we have a new pitcher in for Ranger Scout. We'll let you know who that arm is momentarily. We're going to take a quick break in studio. We'll come back again. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 5th inning, Ranger Scout leads 5-0 when we come back from the state games of Georgia.
It's time to step up. The time is now. It's time to step up. The time is now. We're taking the stage, making the name, flipping the script, changing the game. We're taking the stage, making the name, flipping the script, changing the game. step up. The time is now. It's time to step up. The time is now. It's time to step up. The time is now.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. A 5-0 lead for Rangers Scout. They're trying to keep it that way here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We got about 5 minutes of game time remaining on the clock. How many times do you see a pitcher loses his cap during warm-up pitches and just leave it there? It's just there he goes. Okay, I was gonna say you gotta have that thing on. I know it may not want to stay on, but you got to make the effort there to keep it going. I saw I think it was on, might have been on it might have been at Facebook, but I think it was on X. Somebody said that the first time a pitcher loses his hat throwing, it is what you got. Okay, it happens. The second time it happens, they get a warning. The third time it happens, it's an automatic ball, even if the guy threw a strike.
I think that would go horribly wrong.
Do you? You don't think that would make the coaches say, get a hat that fits?
Well, but I think one of the bigger issues here is it's like everyone's head's different.
Oh, first pitch, die. That one is on its way into left field. Here comes one run. They're going to get another one. Yep. 2 runs. They're going to get a third. He is still trucking.
Oh my.
They're going to have a 3-run double for VBA.
Wow.
And, man, what a moment there for Davis coming through. And he puts him on the board. It's now a 5-3 ball game. Hayden Davis, a 3-run double, has changed this game in a moment. 87.8 down the third base side. Looked like Winton might make a play on it. Gets past him, and it was off to the races for VBA on that one. And all of a sudden, an offense that couldn't break through has their moment. It's a 5-3 game with nobody out here in the 5th.
Yeah, that was gosh, that was a great hit. Great
It sure
base
was.
running.
Just, yeah,
I mean, just like that is exactly what VBA needed right now in order to get themselves back into this ball game. I mean, now it's a 2-run game, and I mean, if you score 3 right here, that's ball game.
Yeah, look, it's win, lose, or draw in pool play. So still an opportunity that they don't get out of here with a walk-off. But nonetheless, when you start thinking about run differential, lot different conversation when you're talking about 2 runs as opposed to 5 runs.
Yeah,
which it looked like they were going to be facing at the offset of this inning. But man, they are still going. An 0-2 count here. Hardy, the new pitcher for Ranger Scout, and he gets the punch out for out number 1. So Asher Long goes down on strikes, brings up Avery Jackson. Runner at second, 1 out. Misses low. Yeah, Hayden Davis, the huge moment for VBA, the Sipsey Valley 2027 3-run double. Clears the bases, the Yellowhammer State game invitee. Another miss here to Hardy, count now 3-0. Jackson representing the tying run at the plate. Braden Lee in the on-deck circle. And he walks him. Now the winning run going to step in the form of Braden Lee.
Excuse you.
3, 4, and 5 still loom here for VBA if it can get that far. They have the right bats in line at the right time. And hats off to number 10 hitter Hayden Davis. Big swing, big miss, hats on the ground.
I talked about it earlier, and they showed it a second ago, that if you leave a gap near the corner, near the lines, it's trouble. and they're leaving that right field gap extremely large right now. This VBA team can run.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw it. If they can get it in a spot where
they are certainly
this
not
Rangers
playing.
national team isn't.
Yeah, they're not playing Braden Lee to pull. That's for sure. Pretty normal alignment out there. Swings through that one. Counts 0-2. Be a big second out here for Ranger Scout if they can get it. And he does. Strikes him out. Loses his lid again. Now 2 down. In the hopes of this VBA team coming down to Cash Crow. And everyone's going to shift a little bit now. It looks like they're going to play the big guy to pull.
Let's see if Cash Crow can cash out right here.
See if Crow can cash in. You know there's some juice in that bat. Swings through that.
See, that would be an automatic ball then.
Yes, yeah. If we were doing the thing where every time you lose your hat, it becomes an automatic ball. I don't know. I've talked about it a million times in these broadcasts. I just don't remember that happening in past generations. It just seems like in the last couple of years it's been pretty prominent. That's strike number 1. That's right to the first baseman. Stops it, taps the bag. They get out of it. Another stranded. It should be ball game. We should be done time-wise. And looks like we, in fact, are a 5-3 win for Ranger Scout. They hold on. VBA put up a fight, Jack, in that last half of an inning. Hayden Davis, man. Hats off to Hayden Davis. An offense that just couldn't get anything going. And the Sipsey Valley right fielder comes through with a bases clearing double that made this an exciting ending, but Ranger Scout able to hold on and get out of here with a 5-3 win.
Yeah, I mean, that was just great from both teams there. I mean, Rangers National did an amazing job in the beginning of the game, finding ways to generate runs.
Yep.
Not letting, bad things impact them at all. They were just doing a great job. But VBA had that goldfish mentality I always talk about.
Excuse me.
They were just, trying to find ways to get runs. That absolute beautiful bases clearing double right there.
Yeah,
was just insane.
This game, the tone was set by Connor Smith on the mound. In those first 3 innings, he strikes out 5, allows 1 hit, 1 walk, and really allowed that Rangers national team offensively to have. They got the bases loaded twice in a span of 3 innings, and then they finally had that breakthrough in the 4th off the bat of Holstein to get themselves that big lead, and they hold on at the end. We've got a lot to get into. We're going to take a quick break in studio. When we come back, we'll talk player of the year and put a player of the game and put a cap on this one from the state games of Georgia.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney. Jack McCartney with you. A 5-3 win for Rangers National Scout over VBA American in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. And Jack, I mentioned it, Connor Smith kind of set the tone for this one on the mound for Rangers National. The Cherokee arm comes out over 3 innings, allowed just 1 hit. He struck out 5. I thought after that first inning, everybody seemingly was getting a 2-0 count like he was Oprah Winfrey, just handing them out. You get a 2-0 count. You get a 2-0 count. He really found his way after that one. Was just a really tough assignment for that VBA VBA American lineup to deal with. But he needed to be backed up offensively by something, and they were kind of playing around a little bit. They got the bases loaded twice in 4 innings. Braden Holstein, his Cherokee teammate, by the way, Connor Smith's Cherokee teammate, backed him up. Big moment. He has a 2 RBI single, and that to me was the defining moment in this one. When you start thinking about a 5-3 ball game, that hit ended up being the deciding factor in this one.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was just an amazing game. Both sides did an amazing job defensively, offensively.
Yeah, VBA and fighting back, right?
Yep,
fighting back.
They did VBA did a great job of not letting the past impact their future. They did a great job going out there and stopping that Rangers national team. But that Rangers national team was just they were on a different level in the beginning, and they let up some runs at the end, but they were just so much better defensively. They were able to stop from almost the entire game from VBA scoring. I mean, you talked about it. At one point, they had only 1 hit. Just an amazing game. But Holstein just did a great job today. I mean, both teams did amazing, but Holstein was just.
And he was behind the plate. He was behind the plate with Smith early on. Yep.
I mean, we talked about that athletic play where the ball went to the backstop. He grabbed it and ran down and. Just did an amazing job today.
Yeah, so Holstein behind the plate looking really good, paired up with Connor Smith, and that battery comes through with that 2-run single, and Braden Holstein is our player of the game in this one, this 5-3 win for Rangers National Scout over VBA American. And we're going to be back next week. Of course, there's this one still rolling on into Tuesday. The pool winners will face off beginning at 10:20 on Tuesday for the start of bracket play. Championship game going to be set for 5:20. So, man, this is going to be a lot of fun over the next few days. If you can't make it out to the Baseball Village, you can find all the games on LakePoint Live. Find them live on demand. That, of course, is powered by Aware TV and Pixelot. We'll be back on our broadcast next week. Prep Baseball Showdown gets underway on Friday. We'll have covered Saturday, a 12:40 game between Pro Stock Baseball Club, Exposure Smokies Scout 27. That's from the 17U division. Then Sunday we'll be back, another game, 12:40 matchup of Smart 10 16U Prospect against the Georgia Bombers. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. Those games, like all of our broadcasts, will be available for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Until then, for Avery Hunt, Jack McCartney, and producer Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.